Hello, Namaste. Welcome to the talk show of IndexTap Premier League. Today we have with us the champion of IPL Central Suburbs. It's none other than the man himself, Mr. Boman Irani, for his project Rustomjee Seasons. Mr. Irani is the managing director and chairman of Rustomjee Group and is the driving force behind the success story of this real estate company called Rustomjee. He is the first generation real estate developer and entrepreneur with over 26 years of experience and knowledge in this industry. Having founded Rustomjee in 1996, this company has evolved into one of the most sought after and respected real estate firms in Mumbai. With a development portfolio of over 20 million square feet of completed projects, 11 million square feet of ongoing development, and over 22 million square feet of planned development in pipeline. Rustomjee is surely here to transform Mumbai's real estate landscape with its high-rise towers and gated communities. IndexTap is delighted and honored to welcome Mr. Boman Irani on IndexTap Premier League talk show today. Hello, sir. Firstly, heartiest congratulations for your project Rustomjee Seasons. It
Thank
has
you.
been on top of the chart this IPL quarter.
That is amazing. That's great news. Thank you.
Also, big congratulations for your recent IPO launch.
Thank you for that as well, Cheryl. Thank you.
It's created a lot of buzz in the market.
Well, whatever real estate does, I've seen generally creates a buzz. I've seen so many companies do so many things, but every time a real estate company does it, for some reason, the excitement amongst the people is always higher, which is good, which is great.
Tell us something about your journey in this industry and what do you think is the future of real estate today?
You know, Cheryl, it's been 26 and a half years now that we've been in the business. When we started off our first building, we were a 4-member chairman to watchman company. Today we are about 650 plus people in the company. When we started off in this business, things like processes, systems, etc. were very far and few in between. There were a handful of developers who kind of followed certain long-term value building propositions. Today, when I see this industry, a lot of us have become industrial by nature. Rather, we are more organized. So, if you ask me, I could say it to you differently. I am bullish on the real estate industry. It does have its short-term cycles and medium-term cycles and long-term cycles. One has to predict where you are into what you're trying to do and in the asset class that you're trying to serve. And we can see today that the premium and super premium, especially in the city of Mumbai, if they're developed well, are doing exceptionally good business, and this class of buyers needs to be served in a particular fashion. You've got to take care of all classes need to be served well, but this class is a little more discerning. They want to be served with the exact needs that they have, and the developers that can do that will continue to do exceptionally well. At the same point of time, at the other end of the spectrum is the affordable housing, and over here the government has done a phenomenal amount of I would say set the stage for a lot of affordable housing to get developed. Of course, there's a lot more they can do and a lot more that we are asking for. But having said that, I see that in that part of the segment is going to grow, not only in the peripheral areas, but also as we see now in the city. And anyone who reads the news or watches the ads that come from real estate developers, they're actually talking of a reduced price. Of course, at a reduced area, but they're giving you all the lifestyle amenities. Larger layouts are getting developed, FSI is freely available, and they're being able to provide homes at a much more reasonable cost than was possible earlier. I can say that the cost of construction going up because we're doing super high rises now is a little bit of a cost increase that happens out there. But I think if the government does heed our request and does reduce the premiums to 50%, right, of where they are today, we might, as a fraternity, as a developer fraternity, be able to provide much better homes at better prices and make Mumbai and MMR a vibrant city, a very vibrant city again.
I'm sure. What about your expansion into a much wider footprint? Are you also looking at cities like Pune or Bangalore?
I don't want to be in any city where I have to use Google Maps to go around. Real estate is a very localized business. I need to be able to feel what my people really need. And towards that, while we've toyed with the idea of going to Pune, and at some point in the future we may go to Pune, as of right now the Mumbai market or the MMR market is so rich, it is so wide and deep that a player or a developer who is entrenched well in this market is in a way a market leader should, I would believe, in my theory, focus on this market because this market is growing, like I mentioned to you. There are infrastructure is opening up a whole lot of possibilities. There are newer areas getting connected. I might as well stay in this market and be a dominant player and control a larger stake or larger share of this market than try to spend my resources everywhere. And I'm saying this with us being three promoters. It would seem to most of the people that it's very easy to let one promoter go to a Pune and one promoter go to Bangalore and then one promoter can continue to stay here. But no, I don't think we'll do that for some time to come.
So talking about your project Rustomjee Seasons, Mr. Irani, you guys have achieved some exceptional sales numbers. What do you think were the planning and strategies that you and your team had to put in place?
I think it's a very centralized location, allows for easy access to places of work, namely BKC for those that work out there. I think with the coming of the Maker Max cities, Geo Mall out there, Geo World Drive is an added feather to that location, and people are experiencing a rich lifestyle out there with schools being in the neighborhood, with great restaurants being closely available, with hospitals being right there in case of emergencies, and the connectivity from that location. You can come to a Bandra West or go to a Worli or even go to a Santa Cruz or Andheri in the 20-25 minute kind of drive at the max, right? And that really helps the location. But also just come back home and have all the lifestyle amenities that one could look at, whether it be a gym or a party hall or a spa or a reading room or a children's play area or a home theater system, or just having this fantastic spine that we created a garden on to be able to walk across, just run a swimming pool to go and swim, or a small mini football field where the kids come and play and you can just enjoy the laughter. I think all this really adds value to that location, and people enjoy living out there. Once a particular family or group of people start enjoying a location, the word of mouth is probably the best source of walk-ins or sales that take place. We've seen this extremely high in Rustomjee season, and we're very thankful to the creators, that is all our team members. I'm very happy that the right kind of gentry has come in to live out there, and I hope they all continue to grow and prosper, and that's my wishes for them.
Did you face any challenges or hurdles in the entire project life cycle?
Yes, as it happens, real estate is a complex subject. Real estate is a complex, complexity that is faced by developers around the world, and it's always juxtaposed because cities have to develop. There's got to be a kind of a development that takes place. Rules keep getting modified, and I'm not talking only of development control rules, but you look at what all has happened to the real estate industry in the last 10 years. We've had everything from a mini change in DCR in 2012, where a type of building which was allowed was overnight slammed, and then there was a little bit of a back and forth into what could be done and couldn't be done, and developers lost a lot of time in that. So we do face time losses sometimes. We do face DCR changes sometimes. We do face tax issues sometimes. We do face a lot of issues, and redevelopments again, I would say, is a mix of an art and a science. It's not just the numbers. It's not something that you can just keep throwing money at, but there's a lot of human interaction that has to take place in a real estate redevelopment project. And I think Rustomjee has done exceedingly well out there, and testimonial at our 1,400 odd rehabilitated homes, where I think I could go today and ring the doorbell and people would welcome us and even offer us a cup of tea and say they're very happy with what has been developed.
And how did you guys decide onto the product mix of this project?
Again, data. If you do anything other than data and go into the I feel, I believe, I know, you're going to make a mistake. What we did at that point of time was identified at what price points the buyers of PKC was developing, right? And we knew the kind of number of office buildings that were coming out there. We knew the kind of traffic that would hit out there. We knew the kind of companies that would move into PKC. Then we kind of went into what their salaries would be, what kind of loans would be available to them, at those prices, would they be able to buy, and then create those homes. Of course, there are two things. One is, can you buy and would you buy, right? The can you buy depends on so many things, price being the most important one. Would you buy depends on everything else. What are you creating? Whether it's the right size for me and my family, whether the community is what it is, whether I like the location or not. Do I want to be so close to work? Are there clubs around? Is there any kind of entertainment for the family, etc., etc., etc. And when we studied that they would buy, I said then it has to be fit into can they buy, right? So make it the right price and the right size. I think it went through some iterations, and we created various types of products. So we did not stay that we'd only do 3 bedrooms, but we did 3.5, we did 4 bedroom apartments out there. And it's really interesting because real estate goes through cycles. At times when the larger apartments would sell, we would believe that we had to keep the prices low out there so they could continue selling. Today, any larger apartment in that area really sells at a premium, right? Because that area has developed that much. And my last tower that we built, or our building as of right now, we built them for a particular clientele. And I'm happy to state that it's been well received, well welcomed out there, and it's worked very well for us. So data. Just mine your data properly.
And what would be your project's top 3 USPs?
Community is number 1. Product type is number 2. And when I say product type, means we've given all the conceivable amenities that particular type of consumer could require for a healthy, happy life. And of course, location. So we worked with balconies, we worked with every conceivable amenity. We've created a spine out there, taking into consideration the wind direction, how it would channel through a funnel through the entire development, so making for more airy homes out there. We've given great amount of care to ventilation as well as light coming into our homes. I would say overall, Rustomjee has been learning over the 26 years of every kind of development that we've done to add more and more value to the projects that come along. We create SOPs around everything. If we make a mistake, we kind of take the rap on the knuckles and we make it an SOP and say we'll never do it again, or we'll understand why we did it, or we'll do it in the future if at all. And if we do something well, we again make an SOP of it and say, hey, this is something that we should repeat every single time. So I think I gave you a very long answer for a very short question. I should just said A, B, C, but it's a little important for me to tell you what we feel.
Absolutely. Mr. Rani, what are the top 3 things a home buyer should keep in mind before buying a property?
Number 1, I think a home buyer needs to address his needs or his or her needs, right? And when I say needs, it means that would I travel vis-a-vis my kids would travel? Nowadays we have both working adults who would make the sacrifice of being further away from work, so location is going to be important. The type of development that they're getting into, do I want to be in a standalone building because I've got a smaller family, or I'm a particular type of individual? Vis-a-vis, do I want to be in a gated community where there are a whole lot of amenities and I don't mind paying that little extra to get that lifestyle? Having the ability to discern value from price is something that I would ask every buyer to build in his habits of buying. One of the most important things is be able to discern value rather than just focus on price and say I could get this cheaper, because there's a saying in Hindi, and it doesn't necessarily apply everywhere, but महंगा रोए एक बार सस्ता रोए बार बार. So it's very important we stay focused on what we are creating and what we are getting into. What is the creation like? What is the strength of the developer? What is the value adds of the development itself? What is my need? How do I go about addressing it? Can I and would I like to buy out here are some things that he or she have to answer. And very importantly, if you're buying as a family, then you've got to be mindful about everything that the family has. Would my life get better if I moved over here? And how would I feel 5 years or 15 years later? Would this be an asset if I put it on the block for whatever reasons that I wanted to? If I wanted to move to a larger home, would there be a resale value out here? Not just something that goes up because of inflation, but also because of the community that gets created out there, or the basic maintenance of the property that is done out there. I think these 3 or 4 things should keep a buyer in good stead to be able to make good decisions.
And what do you think are the challenges that the home buyer faces today?
I would not say challenges, because the home buying process over time, Cheryl, has actually become so much simpler. And a developer of yore would literally give a key to the buyer after the thing is completed and say, yeah, that's your home, go there, second floor, whatever. Those are kind of days that buyers have seen. But look at the hand holding we do today. Look at the very great comfort that has been created by RERA itself. That if you're buying a home, you have somebody that you can turn to if things weren't turning out right. Look at how home loans are being, how you're getting the ease of getting a home loan done. Look at your documentation. Today, anyone who's buying a home with us can choose whether he wants to go to register the document at the registrar's office or just do it at our office. And of course, this is again something that we're adding on to all our projects, but some of our projects are already doing that. So if you had a time that you believe was a good time in the day, or a particular day that you want to register it at a particular hour, at a particular minute, you could come to our office and we could register that for you. So we, as developers or good developers, are cutting out or taking away the complexity of a home buyer. And I think to a large extent, good developers are doing that today. A lot of them, a lot of us.
What are your views on IndexTap? And how do you think IndexTap is going to help the home buyers today?
Look at it this way. When I used to go and buy a car, I used to love the fact that others were buying the same car. Validation, right? Everybody, when IndexTap was being announced, people thought it was something that could go against a developer, that a developer would have to, or his entire data would be out there. I'm saying this is an increasing new world of transparency. And if you just understand how to, benefit from that, and that's what, through this, I'd like to tell all my developer fraternity, it's absolutely great that a consumer can actually look at. So you no longer are being told, okay, my 11th floor flat is sold, and then saying that, no, I want a higher price for it or whatever. Say it today, I want a higher price for it. It's the 11th floor flat, it's got a great view, it's got this, that and the other. But the consumer has the ability to know that this flat has been sold and it's not available. And let's say if there are lots of flats sold out there, hey, FOMO, I'll get left out, I should buy. Or if there are lots of flats available, have the freedom of choice to choose the flat of his or her choice, and make that choice with full knowledge of the fact that they should get it, right? And I think IndexTap has added a whole new tool in the hands of my buyers. I think it's a transparent world. You all have just made one more layer. You've taken away one more layer that could be in any way making it opaque. And I'm thankful to you. I mean, with the ability in my consumers' hands to be able to know what exactly they're doing and making a decision basis all the parameters that they need to have, is something that I look at as a long-term advantage. So hey, great job. Keep it up. We will keep adapting, and you should keep on putting out more and more tools in the hands of my consumers so that they are able to make their decisions a lot more wiser and a lot more, open-minded.
As rightly said by Mr. Boman Irani, IndexTap is here to transform the real estate industry. IndexTap is India's first and only mobile application for home buyers that provides authentic, accurate, and real-time registered transaction data just at your fingertips. You can discover the right inventory at the right price just by clicking at a button. Thank you so much, Mr. Irani, for taking out time and being here on IndexTap Premier League Talk Show. The conversation we had was really delightful, and we'd love to host you again soon.
Cheryl, anytime if I can speak about the industry, because I truly believe there's great power for this industry to grow our city, to grow our state, and actually, grow our wealth in the hands of my, Indians and all our consumers is great. I see great potential out here. I think real estate is a great asset, and I'm sure you do too. That's why you all work so strongly or so deeply with the real estate business. I'll be there for you at any point of time to talk about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.